Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be discussing communication skills and what it means to communicate with clients in health and social care. If you're in a care home, if you're working in a hospital, just any form of communications. Communication is very important. Without communication, we cannot communicate. So, communication is where you have to communicate with your team, communicate with your management, your staff, and your clients to update your clients on a day-to-day basis to find out how they are getting on a day-to-day, just to inform them about their appointments, their operation, explaining certain things to them if they have an operation coming up, exactly what the operation entails, and how the operation is going to go in place. Formal as also in a care home. Um, Care homes is much difficult to communicate because obviously some residents cannot communicate the way we can communicate. So certain things we will have to break it down to them step by step and explain it to them just a little bit slower. And just even if we have to repeat ourselves to make sure that they understand exactly what is going on, what we're going to do, what this medication is, and why they need to take their medication. Without communication, like I said, we cannot communicate. Communication is very important. We need to respect everyone's boundaries, everyone around us, also listening to people's opinions at the same time. Um, because without any of these things, we cannot do our day to day jobs. So, communication is very important. So, this is why we have to communicate on a level where people understand what we're going to say, what we're going to do, and why we are doing what we need to do to help them in this situation. Obviously, I cannot share my screen at the moment because my computer is playing up, but my communication skills, what I've taken, I hope you take your time and go through it. I'm just going to, just point out some factors on my assessment, which I've put it down. Obviously, I've said it before, communication is very important and we need to communicate and respect each other's boundaries. That's first and foremost. We have to respect each other, we have to respect each other's boundaries, and we have to also understand each other. Sometimes when you're telling a client certain things or explaining it to them, they might not understand. So again, you might have to break it down to them and explain it to them slower, or you might have to explain it to them a little bit differently so they can understand exactly what you're telling them they need to do, or what we ourselves needs to do, or what is going to happen. It is very important to listen to your clients first and foremost, because their needs come first, their opinion comes first, and their feelings come first. Although sometimes it's hard to tell them certain things, but that is why we're there, and that is the reason that we have to do what we need to do. But to help them to get through it, we have to break down certain conversations in a way where they can understand it and make it easier for them to process it at the same time. Um, Sometimes clients don't like one-on-one communication. They rather a family member be in the room, which is all fair, which is all right. They have all right to do that, because at the same time it's them what have to go through it. So this is why we have to communicate, and we have to understand their feelings and then their emotions while we are communicating. Communication, like I said before, without communication and without understanding, we cannot communicate. Some people cannot communicate. So again, the ones who cannot communicate, it makes our job a little bit harder, but we have to take our times with the ones who cannot physically communicate. This is where, another member of the team will come in and help them understand exactly what we are going to do or what we are discussing with them, and break it down by either a sign language or we're writing it down where they can read it, what we're saying to them, so they have an understanding and they have the knowledge of exactly what we are saying and what we are going to do to help them either get better or help them with their recovery. Some conversations are harder to have with some clients because obviously some clients, again, they might not know how to communicate. And as nurses, doctors, we have to find a way of communicating with them. Like I said, respecting their boundaries, respecting their understanding, and listening to them as well, because listening is very important. They might not like what we have to say, but we have to listen because they're the first one. They're the important one. Yes, we're there to help them. Yes, we're there to communicate with them and help them along with their journey. But at the same time, we have to make sure that they are okay and they understand exactly why we are here to help, because all we want to do is just help them to get better and to have that communication and to make sure that they understand what is going on a day-to-day basis, and also making sure their well-being is okay, because at the end of the day they are human beings, and we are just here to get the job done and make sure that they're happy and make sure that they understand everything, what is going on in that moment, in that moment, in that time, in that second. Because without communication, we cannot do what we need to do to help them along on their journey. So communication is very, very, very important, and we need to listen to the client and understand what the client needs and what we have to do as doctors or nurses or carers, because we play a very, very vital part in communication, in caring and hospitality, and making sure the client understands what we are going to do, and also helping them through on their journey, like I said before, making sure that they're taking their medications and it's the right medication for them. And if they're not happy with that medication, or we think that medication is not working for them, we need to explain, okay, this is why this is not working for you, we're going to try something else. We need to break down every aspect of these communications so they have an understanding of exactly what we are here to do, because like I said before, communication is very important, and without communication we cannot communicate. We physically cannot communicate. So I just think, again, it's respecting each other's boundaries, understanding each other, and helping as much as we can, and breaking certain diagnostics down and explaining it to them. If they don't understand it in a way, then we have to find another way of breaking it down, or just going a little bit slower so they have that understanding. And it's just all about respect as well. You have to respect them, and making sure that they are happy once we have explained what we are going to do and why we have decided to take these steps, and also respecting their boundaries and understanding their feelings, because they have feelings, everybody have feelings. So we need to just understand their emotions and their feelings. Yes, it might come across harsh, and yes, it might come across, in a way that they might think, oh, we don't care, but we only want the best for them. So again, this is my 10 minutes video about communication and understanding how we communicate. And again, I do apologize because I couldn't share my screen, but I will attach the link to this. And my name is Hazel Francis, and I hope you enjoyed my 10 minutes video. Thank you.